Good morning, everybody. Duichkus in my native language. Another beautiful day to be alive, isn't it? We can breathe, the last 2 years, what we went through. I want everybody to kind of stand up a little bit. Let's get things going. I don't want to be the only one sweating up here, So, turn around, at your own table and pick another table and just say, Duich Dawayak, or hello. Yeah, because we can do it. 2 years ago, we couldn't do it. And here we are today, get up a little bit. It is 11:15. I made my way over Red Mountain Pass and Ouray. Beautiful. We live in the most beautiful part of the lower 48, in my opinion. State of Colorado is beautiful. So once again, my name is Shane Seibel, Executive Director of the Southern Ute Growth Fund. It's the business arm of the Southern Ute Indian Tribe. And of course, Andy's not here. And we picked on Amanda. She's only got 90 days within the organization, so Andy owes her. But she's spent 15 years in the industry. So I'm very excited to have her up here. And I won't take notes and I won't grade you. So it's all good. I'm going to back it up. So a little bit about the Southern Ute Indian Tribe. There's 1,475 plus tribal members. Our reservation is a little over 330,000 acres in the most beautiful part of Colorado. And in my humble opinion, we are south of Durango. So anybody know where Durango is? Yeah, anybody know where Ignacio is? Yeah, a few. Hey, I got somebody out there who knows where Ignacio. It's a beautiful part of the area. We're a very unique nation within a nation. If you took our external area of our reservation, it comes out to be about 681,000 acres. But in that is checkerboard, what we call checkerboard. So there's many jurisdictions we've got to navigate. We are one of the largest employers in our county, which we take great pride in. Creating jobs, creating meaningful careers, not only for our tribal membership, but for our community at large. We are the longest continuous inhabitants of the state of Colorado. We are a nomadic people, and we're still here today. There's only 2 federally recognized tribes in the state of Colorado. Southern Ute's one of them, and the Ute Mountain Ute by Cortez, Colorado, and Toyac, Colorado is the other. Really, our Ute culture is centered on, just like we did, is given a warm welcome because we all share one common theme. We're human beings. In my language, we're created by Muinam, this energy. The sun, the earth, we're everything. Scientists have now said, and we got a room full of smart people. Wow. I can feel the brain power just sweating it out. But we're connected by this one magnificent energy that we say Muinam. It's a creator of all things. It's not church, it's not religion, it's just science and facts to us Ute people. Our relationship, with not only the body we wear, the earth that we wear, and the Father sky and the sun that we're connected to, but our ecosystem, so important. That was rooted in who we are, is making sure that we don't overfish a stream, that we don't overproduce an area, that we're always following the cycles of nature. Because if we think that we're that powerful to destroy this ancient being called Mother Earth, we can upset her. We can definitely do things that aren't conducive, like our own body, that we have to be very aware of that. So what we learned from our past and what comes to today is, we're a hunting and gathering nation. And we are on the move always. And so one of the things that I have to thank Kirby and his team for inviting us so kindly to come here and speak in front of you all to share our story. A lot of you are regulatory bodies, and how we merge those two is a pretty cool story. Very challenging in the beginning. So our traditions today are still alive. We talked about that, being one with each other, regardless of our skin color. I'm related to the Kuyagut. That's our bear. Some people go, what? How are you related to that? Well, science, you can pinpoint the point of origin. We're all related. Our bear dance is still practiced today. If you ever get a chance, I told Morgan back there, wherever you are, raise your hand. Where's he at? Maybe he took coffee. I don't know. But come and see us during our bear dance. It's the last weekend in May, and it's one of a kind. And we welcome all visitors. We call it the Super Bowl amongst bear dance, among us Ute people. We also practice our Sundance today. So our organization is pretty simple. We have the Southern Ute tribal membership at top. They elect our Southern Ute Tribal Council. And as you can see, as you can see, a very lovely tribal council that was elected, and they oversee 4 distinct areas. Our Sky Ute Casino, we have a very small gaming operation. Our Permanent Fund, which is our government function. Our Growth Fund is our business arm, which I represent. And our Southern Ute Shared Services is our IT functions across the whole entire organization. We all know how important IT is, right? Over the last couple years, wow, I think maybe, how many still work remotely? Your boss is there, maybe you're like, hey, I don't like it. I'd rather be in the office, but no, it changed the whole, it shifted everything, how we go about doing business. You know, some people like it, some people don't. I'm a little old school. I still have a paper business card, and I enjoy human interaction. You know, that energy, that transference. Man, I just enjoy that. So real quick about our mission and vision statement. I won't read word for word except for the very top. Our Southern Ute Indian tribe, our mission statement. These are more than words. This is what drives us. We are a sovereign tribe. We're a nation within a nation. Yes, we are Americans, but we're also tribal members. We manage our resources and protecting our culture as we serve our people now and into the future. That's a powerful mission statement for our tribe. And as we go down, one of the things I want to share with you is our vision statement, to be the best business in Indian country. That's worldwide. We have to be disciplined, high-performing, and profitable with an emphasis on the people and earth in which we serve. That's a big deal for all of us within the Growth Fund, our vision statement. It means something to us. So one of the things that makes us really unique amongst Indian country, and there's a couple analogies out there, and I think this will fit. Well, it's kind of like the fox watching the hen house. How can you be a regulatory compliance agent on a government and you be an operator? Well, there was definitely some friction in the very beginning, but we were able to get through that based on a plan that we had. And it still amazes me today. My jaw drops thinking back to my elders. My mother was on tribal council for many years. We had a tribal chairman. His name was Leonard C. Birch, and fantastic, but he had a group of council members behind him that really wanted to solve a couple of things. Number one, we knew that peak production, we were blessed when the feds put us on our reservation. Little did they know that we had the Mesa Verde and the Dakota, but we had the Fruitland Coal Formation, dry gas. Wow, amazing. And we're still producing that today horizontally. We knew that there was going to be a peak. And so the tribe is not only participants on the reservation of producing and really a self-determination act that we have to determine our course. It was to diversify our source of earnings. So we've done a fantastic job at that. And we wanted to really fund our government in perpetuity. So how do we do that? You know, we had to have a plan to be able to say, we're here today, but we want to be here in the future. 7 generations. Maybe some of you have heard that term, but it's very powerful to us Native people. The biggest thing that when I share this across Indian country is the separation of business and government. How many are you in government? Raise your hand. How many are in business? And so sometimes those can be very conflicting, and in a tribal situation, they were very conflicting. We couldn't run at the speed of business in which it needed to be done. So lessons learned in the early 90s that we had to really separate the two to perform both well. You can't run a business like a government, and you sure in the heck can't run a government like a business. They'll both fail. You have different sets of skills that are required, and of course, one's for profit, one's for service. So how did we do that? Well, we had to really go through a process of developing a plan to answer the questions that our tribal leadership needed to answer. Okay? How do we fund our government in perpetuity? How do we separate business and government? And, how do we share in our profits with our tribal membership? Those were amazing questions to be solved. 23 years later, we're here, we're doing it. Now we're on our 2.0 on our financial plan. Our portfolio today, very diverse. We're not only an oil and gas tribe, but we've ebbed and flowed over the years. Right now we have about 310 employees. We operate across 16 states in the Gulf of Mexico. We're very active and we're very good in oil and gas. The E&P side of things, we have a midstream company that we're also very good at. I call that our monopoly. We'll go into that a little in depth. We have a real estate portfolio that's now reached a little over $1 billion. Our private equity is our diversification model. That's over $1 billion as well too. And our connection to our community is taking those revenues and really putting in the state-of-the-art water treatment facility, our wastewater, natural gas, and trash for our community. And that's a big way for us as Growth Fund employees to really make a difference to our community. Our newest is Growth Fund Ventures. Real simple org chart. We have an amazing set of people. I like to share this story. Everybody know where Pagosa is? I was a young kid and Pagosa, they said, hey, that's a Ute word. I must have been first grade, second grade, went back to my great grandma. And I said, what does Pagosa mean in the Ute word? She goes, Pagosa. She goes, it means stinky waters. And I said, no, Grandma. They said that means healing waters. She goes, we don't have a Ute word for healing. It's stinky waters. And powerful place. But us Ute people, with our neighboring tribe, the Navajos, we used to fight over that a lot. Finally, the two chiefs said, enough, we're going to fight to the death, and whoever wins Pagosa. So Navajos had this legendary 6'4", amazing warrior. Us Utes were short, but pretty strong, stout, and mountain people. Well, we got a 5'10", excuse my language, white guy that was a retired Army lieutenant that fought for us. They stripped him down to the nude, gave him a blade, and guess who won? Well, the short little white guy did. For us Utes. So we have a debate, and a discussion within my family. I've got 6 kids. My youngest is 22, my oldest is 34. And so we'd always have this debate. How did we get the white guy to fight for us to the death? Oh, some of the kids said, well, we had his family by knife point back there. You're going to fight for us. I like to believe that we are such great people and negotiators that we said, man, all of this, look at this. This could be yours. You could ride with us. You could be a part of us. And he loved that. That's just what I'm thinking on that legend. Well, here we are today attracting talent. We need talent for people to show us and help us be where we're at today. So, long story short, it's so important that we have relationships, knowing that we're all one, regardless of our skin color. I don't care what anybody says, we're all one. So, one of the big things is our strategy. As an oil and gas tribe, many things come with that. Over the last couple of years, Cash flow has been very significant on that side of things, but we got to walk the talk. Everybody says, well, you guys are the tribe. You guys say you're environmental stewards. Well, prove it. Show us. Show us what you're doing as an oil and gas tribe and as a regulator. How are you guys coming together and walking the talk? Well, our beloved chairman, Mr. Baker, was asked to come and provide testimony this past November to the U.S. House Representatives Select Committee on that climate crisis. You know, we are really in support of a holistic approach. Let's look at all things. You know, I get hit up a lot on the EV side of things, and people say, hey, well, look at that pump jack, what you got over here versus our solar panel. Wait a minute, back it up. We got to compare apples to apples. Go to the lithium mine. Then we can start comparing the two to be able to make that transition. So we're all about it. We want to see the big picture view of energy and the role in that energy transition. We want to be a part of it. And so we'll go through some specific things that we're doing. Our energy transition strategy, carbon intensity. So we want to target places and create partnerships, and one of them is the Gulf of Mexico. The other one is carbon capture. So our existing plants on the reservation, we want to be able to outfit it and capture all that carbon and actually put it in a new CO2 pipeline and enter into our partnerships CO2 line, who is Kinder Morgan. Technology. You can punch this one up. I'm going to go in a little bit more depth on each of these, but Coyote Clean Power. Google it. It's pretty awesome. I challenged our energy group, my energy director, Courtney Hadrick, and I said, I want to get to the burner tip. How do we get to the burner tip? And we want to be able to help, because the Navajos, their coal mines were shutting down. That's our neighboring Native nation next to us. And I wanted to get to the burner tip, and she brought back an amazing opportunity. So we talk about emissions intensity for select offshore basins. You can see we're almost at the bottom. Who's got us beat? Norway. Over here, emissions intensity by source. You know, we are down at the bottom. We like to see that. We like to partner up with people that have that same vision, that same passion that we have. You got to walk the talk. The other one, locally, you know, as we go through a horizontal drilling program now, as technology has really caught up. You know, old school, I began my oil and gas career back with Arco Oil and Gas way back in the day in the early 90s. And so we use gas lift to YouTube and bring up water and hopefully gas at that time. But we've really changed with the technology to be able to capture our gas and the old design versus our new design. You can see that total organic compound emissions. It's pretty cool. We're making a difference. Carbon capture. This is kind of the fun stuff. On our reservation, actually the coal bed, Fruitland coal comes through the surface, and we have venting of that gas right there on our reservation. So we've experienced a lot of vegetation that has gone south, things of that nature. So we want to be able to provide an opportunity to capture that methane. We talked a little bit about the CO2 capture project. These are things that are currently going on. That final investment decision has been done and has been inked by Tribal Council. Coyote Clean Power, that's something to Google up. It's awesome. That's way above my pay grade. I have smart people. I lead a bunch of engineers, and if you guys are, any one of you graduated from DU, maybe, hopefully, I'm not the only one. Dang. Everybody's kind of like, no, sorry. Well, we go by colors. And so engineers are blues. They want data. Geez, they want stacks. And they're just kind of him-hawing around about making a decision. I'm a red. I don't want all the data. Condense it down, put it in a paragraph, and tell me what you're asking for. I'll make the decision. So this net power is amazing. Do we want to be the first project out of the gate? No, we want to be that second, third, but we're truly excited about that project to create some jobs and to create opportunity. Our next one that we just inked a couple months ago is Panda High Plains Hemp Gen. So we want to actively get involved with hemp. We're not interested in the flower, we're interested in the manufacturing process. We're good at it, we're midstream. We understand where a product comes through, how we can manufacture it and get it to our off-takers. Well, Panda is an amazing company that we're truly excited to be able to really make a disruption in the textiles along with cotton farmers. We're not here to fight with the cotton farmers. We're here to say, hey, as a rotational crop, now you have a place to take it and to sell it. With that comes also an opportunity to use it on our reclamation projects. So we're actively really looking at how hemp can strengthen our soils and how we can then really recondition our soils to be conducive to our natural vegetation. So in summary, I know we're going to get on time. I'm turning it over to Amanda. I'm going to take some notes, see how she does. Tribal leadership, we continue to support tribal energy transition. We're all about that. We don't want to be left holding the last barrel of oil either, but we're good at it, but we don't want to be doing that. We want to make sure that we're always leading the not only Native nations, but leading our area in moving forward. Leverage federal programs. We're very interested in receiving help in that manner. We talked about the carbon intensity, carbon capture, and technology. We're walking the talk. And as a small Native nation within a nation, we feel that we are making huge strides. We're not one to beat on our chest. You know, I'm excited to be here and share our story with you. It took hard work. It took the opportunity to attract talent to help us. And one of those big ones, talent that we have on our team, is our legal team. They've been with us for 40 plus years, and they know Indian law like no other. And so they are an advocate to all tribal nations to be able to say, hey, we have the right to determine our path, a right to govern ourselves. This was brought forth in treaties. This was signed because one of the most interesting facts here is being an American is the last people that got an opportunity to practice our own religion, vote, was Native Americans. You know, that's nothing to feel bad about. That's nothing, but that's just there as a fact that we're still here today. And we're going to continue to move forward and have a good time doing it. And so with that, I'm going to turn this over to Amanda, kind of dig into a little bit of the details. So, Amanda, I will click for you.
That was very good. I approve.
Okay. Thank you. You just tell my bosses, and then we're good.
So as Shane said, my boss threw me under the bus and is sick. So here I am presenting his slides. And I'm also not yet 90 days in. So who better to present than me? Okay, so Kirby asked Andy, how is it that the tribe is both an operator and a regulator? How does this work? It's an interesting concept for me too, being in industry for so long. So what Andy has put together is the background, the regulatory background that we have here of the tribe. And as you'll see, it's really a combination of many factors that come together that Shane spoke to as well. Embedded with governance and reporting structures and autonomous departments with a lot of checks and balances, including my department, SecMeg, is really how all of it unfolds and how they all work together. Next slide, please.
Yeah.
So, sorry, back one. I thought you were on the, there we go.
And it's right there.
Perfect. So, SECMEG. We are the Safety and Environmental Compliance Management Group of the Growth Fund. And our goal is to ensure that all operations are conducted in a safe and environmentally conscious manner and to achieve full compliance with existing safety and environmental laws, rules, and regulations. This is a 20-year-old mission, so it mirrors what we know with the state too, right? Next slide, please. So how do we do this? There's a lot of metrics. There's training metrics, there's driving metrics, there's safety metrics. We are proactive. And we're not just saying that, we're all good. There is a metric on everything, a performance metric. Believe me, they know how fast you're going and how fast you're braking. The safety aspect, you have to look, as we all know, through many different lenses. It can't be static. We're constantly looking for improvements. How do we know what is good enough? How do we know that we have adequate controls in place to prevent a SIF? So Shane also talked about some of the transition projects, but SECMEG is here to assist on all of them, so we're also plugging 15 to 20 wells annually that are proven to be uneconomic, and permitting more as well. Next slide. So regulatory structure. On the reservation, as Shane said, the tribe has sovereignty. The counties and the state do not have jurisdiction. There are MOUs, however, between the tribe and the state and the counties, which detail how each parties will work collaboratively to ensure the environmental and safety health protections. So, for example, noise complaints come in every once in a while. They'll either go to tribal council or they'll come into us, to SECMEG, and we're charged with making sure that we monitor 2 COGCC standards. And then also similar to other operators in tribal lands, where there's federal jurisdiction, the tribe is also in compliance with all the federal laws, so including NEPA, Endangered Species Act, Clean Water Act, etc. Next slide. So in 1999, the Intergovernmental Agreement, which became law in 2014, placed the Environmental Commission in charge of making sure that regulations were applicable to the reservation air code. And this commission has 6 members, 3 of which were appointed by the tribal council and 3 of which by the governor of Colorado. Next slide, please. Clean Air Act, this is a big topic. The tribe has primacy of Title V permitting, and which was approved and granted in 2012. The tribe's air programs, they conduct inspections, they issue permits with terms and conditions, all within the exterior boundaries of the reservation. So regardless of fee lands or not, this is the airshed. The delegation of the Clean Air Act, so the NSPS and MACT standards, are also under the purview of the tribe. They also have applied to the EPA primacy for the federal New Source Performance Review Program in 2020 and is awaiting approval. So they also conduct enforcement activities on non-tribal and tribal operations. And the reason for all of these goals is to ensure that there's one uniform set of air quality regulations. All of us know split estate, multi-jurisdictional, checkerboard nature of things is extremely complicated. It's the tribe's goal to make sure that it's all uniform. We're currently working with the BLM on the waste prevention rule, which is pretty exciting. Next slide, please. So then under the Clean Water Act, the tribe also has applied and received 401 treatment as a state. And so then they are also able to deny, certify, waive, or provide permits with terms and conditions, of course, under the Army Corps 404 standards. Next slide, please. So that's sort of the regulatory approach. Now we'll talk about the balance of mineral extraction with environmental protection. And as Shane pointed out, the part of the balance starts with the tribal organization structure. The tribal council is elected by the tribal members, And they're accountable to their constituents. All departments, all businesses, regulatory and business, report to tribal council. There's a lot of checks and balances. So again, the tribe is very unique as being an energy operator, an air regulator, and producing energy. And so both the government side on the permanent side and the business side, the growth fund, report to tribal council, more checks and balances. SECMAG, just yet another acronym that I said earlier, just rolls right off the tongue, reports directly to the executive director, and then all of their EHS managers report directly to the company president. So the tribe, through its energy, natural resource, cultural departments, and through its business arm, the growth fund, balance mineral extraction and environmental protection, many checks and balances. Next slide, please. So then part of those checks and balances is that different groups also conduct inspections. This slide further breaks down the reporting structure, how there is embedded governance, and SECMAG is autonomous in reporting directly to the executive director. The Department of Energy and the Department of Natural Resources conduct inspections, and they maintain impartial when requiring EHS maintenance of gas wells, remediation of soils, big game restrictions, cultural resource protection, etc. The Growth Fund Management Committee and Tribal Council help make sure this balance is maintained. The tribe is vested in their interest in protecting the tribal lands for future generations, as well as benefiting from this natural resource. In my first 90 days here at the tribe, I've noticed the two priorities are regulatory compliance, one, and two, energy development. Both of these things are very important for their future generations of tribal members. One last slide, Shane. So the expectation, again, of the tribal council is that the tribe will be in compliance. The tribal operators and the operations will be good stewards of the land and good neighbors. SECMAG's mission as a separate part of the companies is to ensure EHS compliance through the independent companies of the growth funds. Shane, how did I do? Do you want to add any details of things I may have missed?
No, let's give it up for Amanda. That's pretty good. Good job. Yeah, we can hear this. So here's just kind of some pictures that we had placed and on the things that has taken place. We have a Red Cedar Antler gas plant demo. So we're pretty excited about being able to move forward on some of the things that are there that are no longer in use. We want to be able to walk the talk, right? Clean it up. Kind of a nice stream crossing and ESA habitat. That's what we like to see. We love to see that as we go through various areas of the reservation. We want to see it nice and green and back to its natural habitat. Reclamation of a road. Can't really tell a road was there. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're aiming for. Key takeaway. You know, we have a Department of Energy within our tribe, and really what they're all about is right here. The mission of that department is to ensure that the members of the Southern Ute Indian Tribe receive maximum benefit from the energy and mineral resources located on our reservation, while at the same time minimizing the impact of extraction of the resources on the natural and cultural environment. That's who we are. And some people go, man, that's pretty fascinating. Well, we're very unique to be able to balance that. And, you know, I challenge each and every one of us as regulatories and operators, we need each other. Not one's better than the other, but we need each other to continue to push the envelope to get better, to walk the talk. So with that, I think that does it. So we're open to answer any questions. If you're answering engineer questions, you come get my business card. I'll send you my team. Send you a bunch of blues. Yeah.
Coyote Clean Power Project. I guess the first net power project using like pure oxygen and then mixing it with natural gas and then sequestering the CO2 is going to be done in West Texas. So you're waiting on that project before you go ahead on that, on your project?
Yes, great question. I think you're referring to the pilot project there in Texas, and that's been now online for going on about a year, I think. And so all that has proved out and tested up. So, next is just going through the process to be able to start construction. So, so we're heading in that direction.
Anyone else?
All right, thank you so much. What a beautiful audience.
Round of applause.
All right.
I was just going to have you talk a little bit about your efforts in the Western states and tribal nations. And I can use my mom's voice.
Yes.
Can you talk to us a little bit about Western states and tribal nations and your efforts to help help the tribe get involved with LNG export projects?
Yeah, we're a huge proponent of Rocky Mountain gas, and so this organization. I don't know if Andrew Browning is here or in the room. I know I seen him on the pamphlet, but yes, Western States and Tribal Nations was really started by Governor Hickenlooper at that time, and the other governor, maybe you can help me out on that. It came from Utah, I want to believe, and so they were wanting to be able to really actively promote Rocky Basin, or not Rocky Basin, but Rocky Mountain natural gas. And so I think it's a wonderful opportunity to bring states, counties, and Ute Mountain, our northern Utes, us and the Hickoryas together to be able to really have that common voice, to bring it forward to not only our state legislation, but to our federal side of things. So thank you for that question. Appreciate it. Okay, well, thank you all. Have a great rest of the day, and come down and see us in our part of the woods.